5 minutes. That's all it takes to transform your development environment from standard to supercharged. Today, we're setting up the AI development stack that will power our entire startup journey. By the end of this episode, you'll have both Amazon Q Developer and Kiro running, and I'll show you the exact configuration that I use in my own setup. Now, before we dive in, let's talk about what you need. First, the Pro subscription. And yes, it is worth it. Q Developer Pro is $19 a month and gives you unlimited code suggestions and advanced agent capabilities. Kiro, currently being in preview, does not cost anything, but you can easily link it up to your existing Q Developer subscription for easy access so you can use the advanced spec and agent hook features. You'll also need an AWS account, and the free tier works perfectly fine for what we're going to build today. Just make sure you have enough access to do everything you need to. Now, with the intro done, let's hop right in. Alright, welcome to my AWS account. I'm currently in Sydney region, and first thing that I need to do is to create my IDC or IAM identity center. So let's just go ahead there. This is going to be tied to my account for the Pro subscription because I need a user to be defined. And this user will essentially be allowing me access or authenticating me to both Q Developer and later on to Kiro as well. Okay, so we have our IDC deployed. Let's go ahead and create a user. So I'll just click on users. Add user, let's just give it a username, Tommy. We can skip through all this, Tommy. And we'll pass it to the next one as well. First name T, last name M, just to keep it simple. And we can go ahead and create a user. We don't really need to assign a group right now, but later on, if we are managing a lot of users, we can use groups to make it a little bit simpler for admins to assign groups rather than managing individual users when we're talking about subscriptions. So I'll just go ahead, we have a review, and add a user. Now our new user will get a notification through an email. They will have to authenticate, create a new password, etc., 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 just as a normal authentication process. Now let's go ahead to Q Developer and set up a profile. So I'll just go through my shortcut. You can notice that we are changing a region because Q Developer right now is available only in US East 1 and Europe region. But this will not affect us essentially. So we'll just go ahead and we just click on to get started. We'll create a profile. Now with that profile created, I can go ahead and pick my user, Tommy, from the list. Remember, use the actual name, not the username. Assign, and our user is successfully set up. Now let's just confirm that our subscription for our user is set up. We'll just go to the settings, subscriptions, users, and we can see that our user is active under the subscription. Now let's go back to the IDC and get one little detail that we need to set up our IDE or our CLI for a Q Developer. Now you can notice that I had to change the region because I created my IDC in Sydney region, while Q Developer has to be configured in either US or EU region. Now what I need is this little URL, the access portal URL. I'll just copy that and I'll head over to the IDE. So you might be using your own flavor of IDE, but for this purpose I chose VS Code. So I'm going to demonstrate the process here, but the similar process follows through all the other IDEs. So firstly, let's go to extensions and verify that we have Amazon Q extension enabled and installed. This is a prerequisite for the IDE setup. Then we'll go to the icon for Amazon Q Developer and we'll just paste the IDC URL in here. Make sure that this region is set to the region that you have your IDC deployed into. Now let's continue, and now let's authenticate through the browser. So now we'll just pass in my username, password, hope that's the right one. We're gonna log in. You might get a request for MFA, but I disabled my MFA on my IDC, so it might be an option for you, depends how you want to use it. Now let's go back to the IDE. Now back in the IDE, we can see the Q Developer is already set up. We can run a test. And a similar thing will be done on Q CLI, where we can run Q login, and it'll walk us through the same process using Pro license. For Kiro, we can follow the same process. We can configure IDC, subscription for Kiro, and go pass in the URL for the IDC. We have to make sure that we are in the right region. For me, it's going to be Sydney again. And that's it. So this is how you can configure Pro subscription for Q Developer and Kiro in 5 minutes. Remember, Kiro is still in preview, which means it's free. There might still be a waitlist by the time you see this video, but the team has already started working on clearing that out. Join me in the next episode of Dev Horizons, where we will start building our first app, the first code for our startup. See you in the next one. Have a good one.